Sometimes people, man, people can just be so mean on the internet. It's ridiculous. I'm out here documenting my weight loss journey. It's not like I'm out here clickbaiting and saying, oh yeah, look at me, I'm eating 10,000 calories because I'm fat, yeah. I'm not out here doing that, you know? And people just, I don't know, people just want to be mean for some reason.
It's a shame, but the one thing I will definitely say is no true fitness enthusiast or gym goer will ever have this sort of mindset towards you. These people usually don't even go to the gym themselves. Most real gym people, when they see someone overweight in the gym, they usually give them more respect than anybody else because they know the struggle to get in there in the beginning journey. They'll normally kind of give you that look. In today's video, people, we have a really cool one I'm actually looking forward to doing, and it is literally covering this guy's like really good fat loss journey so far, going from 380 pounds. So far he's down to about 330-ish pounds. And I wanted to cover this because it's very rare when you find like someone that's doing like a weight loss journey where they actually keep up with the documentation of it, and he has been vlogging it all. And I thought it'd be cool to tap in and just kind of show him some support, and also go through one of his videos which he actually dropped a couple months ago, where he was talking about his progress so far and also some struggles that he's having, and just seeing what tips that we can provide, one to help him maybe on his journey, and also to help any of you watching that may be in a similar predicament, that may be having certain struggles that maybe not many fitness people cover. Because when you're on the really obese side, you probably don't get too many realistic tips on what to do when you're hitting little mini common day struggles that many people may not cover because it's not large enough. So without further ado, we're gonna check out his video.
Today we'll be recapping the past 30 days. Our goal weight at the beginning of the challenge, which was somewhere in September, was around 359 pounds. And now our weight is at 349 pounds. We'll be going over the challenges and stuff that I've learned throughout this whole entire journey so far. Some of the struggles that I had to endure during these 30 days was actually giving up jump roping. Man, I really fell in love with jump roping.
Before he goes into it more, that's something that I would have straight away said not to do, because when you're dealing with someone that is around his weight, which is pretty damn heavy, jump rope is one of the things you shouldn't do, even if you enjoy it, simply because there's just way too much impact on your knees and joints. Because you have to remember, he's not just someone that's like slightly overweight, he's like a good 200 and something pounds excess weight that he shouldn't really have on his body. Every time you jump, that force is getting applied to your knees, which is why cardio that's normally good for someone that's overweight is like incline walking or stairmaster, things where there's not too much pressure on your knees. It's good that you can do jump rope, to be honest, but the problem is if you do this consistently, I'm almost certain that he'll come up with knee problems. Many people that are overweight should realistically avoid things like this and box jumps, things that just apply too much pressure to your knees.
Started it a couple months ago and I really fell in love with jump roping. As you can tell, we have the jump rope right here. I set a goal for myself. It was just really hard. It was so hard to give it up because I really enjoyed it, and it sucks, but I just had to be real with myself, man. I was having a lot of pain jump roping. I thought getting new pads, getting new, you know, cushion for my feet, getting new shoes, I was trying everything to just keep jump roping, but I just had to give it up just because my knees were hurting, my shins were hurting, and I had some weird sharp pains in my knee, and I was just like, yeah, I can't do this anymore. But we did set a goal for ourselves. This goal right here, we will be unlocking this at 290 pounds.
So personally, I don't think 290 is low enough, if I'm being completely honest. The way I was trying to think about it is probably I would start it when you're maybe 60 pounds above, like excess weight above what your regular height should be from roughly your weight. He looks like he may be tall, so I would have said personally maybe when he hits 250, around that mark, or maybe even 260, 290 maybe a little bit soon. But that being said, that's still like, if he's been doing it right now and he's like, he started at 380 down to like 330, you know, him even jumping when it comes to 290, it'll feel like a hell of a breeze. You know what I mean? It'll feel so much easier. It'd be like if you ever watch Dragon Ball Z, it's like he's been training with weights on in like the hyperbolic time chamber, and taking that off and being able to jump is going to be like a miracle for him.
So I have to replace jump roping with something, and I found push-ups. I was very intrigued with calisthenics and, you know, pushing your own body. So throughout the challenge, I've been trying to do push-ups every single day, and we hit a record of 6 push-ups in a row. 6 push-ups in a row. This guy, 349 pounds, pushing up 6 body weight.
I've got to say, one of the things that pulled me in about his videos his energy and personality is top tier. You know what I mean? Like, he's got the energy and charisma that could probably hold a YouTube channel very well. It's just very, very, very enjoyable to see people like him win. There's just something about it. He doesn't seem obnoxious. He doesn't seem depressive, which is great. And also, he's taking everything at stride value. Some people, that injury from the knee thing would have probably knocked him off, and they would be like, you know what? I can't even do the cardio I enjoy. What's the point? Whereas he found something to adapt, and he's managing to knock out push-ups, which at his weight, I ain't gonna lie, I didn't think he'd be able to do it. I thought maybe he'd have to do like assisted push-ups, like on the stairs or something. But that's really, really good that he can do 6 solid push-ups at his weight at a controlled pace. So that's a big accomplishment. So shouts out to him there.
So satisfying to hit those push-ups, man. I didn't even think I could do one when I first started, and then we started doing them every day, and then my body started getting used to it, and then we got to 3, and then we got to 4, and then I rested a day, and then came back, and we did 6. And I think that was a huge victory for me.
Solid progressive overload. A lot of people think it's always about like getting like heavier weights. Yes, that's a form of it, but there's many versions. There's been able to do a slower, more controlled pace. That's also a form of progressive overload, because that's like your tempo. And then also there's the fact that getting in more reps at body weight is very, very good. It means you can handle your weight appropriately. So his full video is technically 15 minutes long, and he covers various struggles along the way they had to kind of overcome or he's still dealing with. We're going to go over some of the ones I feel like are the most applicable. For example, I'm going to skip over the ones where he talks about intermittent fasting and fasting as a whole, because I don't think many people have to do that. Not many people do it anyway. So we're going to skip over that and go to the more, I'd say, wide spanning issues that most people may have. And the next one he covers is talking about like getting to that point where it just feels hard to actually go to the gym or can't be asked to go.
Also, some of my struggles over the last 30 days was just sticking to my 3 days a week working out. I did have a point where I was injured for a little bit. My knee was really swollen. I didn't feel like doing anything.
So here's his daily goals: 16-hour fast. He's doing intermittent fasting. Eating a max of 2,500 calories and walk 10,000 steps. Honestly, those are good goals to have. However, based on someone his size, I don't think he needs to drop his calories as low as that. Because to get to his size, trust me, he's not just eating, say, 3,000 calories. I have a feeling that he was probably eating a large portion more than that. I think he could probably get away with eating 3,000 calories and still making progress, but he probably just wants a faster weight loss period. And in regards to the routine he chose, 3 days a week, that's a very, very good amount to be training at someone his size. 3 to 4 days a week, to be honest, is the most average people need to train, or someone overweight. Like, yeah, you can try and train 5, 6 days a week, but you don't need to. You will see progress on that, because the biggest portion you need to really address is the food that you're consuming. So I think it's good. He hasn't tried to exercise every single day, because there's many overweight people, ironically, try and go from doing virtually nothing to like train like 6, 7 days a week, and they normally burn out because it just feels like way too much, and it's just way too foreign to what they typically do. So 3 days a week training is pretty good.
I was really unmotivated at the tail end of the challenge to go out and work out. You know, I hit my 10,000 steps, but just going to the gym and trying to work out, that was brutal. My knee's healing up, and hopefully we can get ready for the next challenge, because I just don't want to cause an injury where I have to sit out for a couple weeks or a couple months and just hinder my process of losing weight, because we've been doing so good so far. Then we had our shoe struggles. We went to Feet Fleet. We actually spent some good quality money on a great pair of shoes, because I needed it, man. I was really struggling with my feet hurting all the time, and we actually went and spent the money on some good pair of shoes.
I've got to say, this dude, he sounds like he's got the mentality to win. He's making smart choices. So his thing when he was talking about not training or doing stuff too hard when he's injured, because it'll probably likely make everything else worse, because when you're on a nice stride, overdoing it and getting yourself injured is just going to ruin the progress to the point where you're not doing well, and it's going to basically impact your whole mindset and your training progress. So it's much smarter to let yourself recover so you can continue to actually get back to training faster, rather than if you mess it up and then end up kicking the can down the road and making the injury last longer than it needs to be. So that was very, very smart in itself. But then also build on top of that, he has the correct mindset to invest in his fitness journey. And that doesn't just mean food. Like, if he feels like when he trains, his feet are killing him all the time, it's very smart to invest in a comfortable pair of shoes. So when you're actually training, the trainers, or sneakers, as you Americans say, will actually help you perform better. You know what I mean? Like, sometimes people laugh about people buying like new gym wear or gym accessories to take to the gym because it's just unnecessary. But for some people, these things can make the difference. Even something as naive and somewhat vain as buying a new gym outfit oftentimes can give people that short boost of motivation to get themselves back in the gym to continue to train. So all these little things I never ever whimper at or stick my nose up at, because they all have their place and they all can be contributing factors to you sticking to the right things and progressively building good habits. And the next struggle we're going to jump to is where he mentions having to kind of deal with some haters. So I'm definitely going to include this in the video, because even though I don't believe any of us watching here are probably someone that would do what he's going to mention, I feel like it's necessary so you can at least have a little bit of empathy towards some of these people when they're going through this, because there's always some fool that will put them down. And also, so you can be vigilant yourself. So if you see this ever happen, you need to step in.
And my last struggle was just, again, dealing with haters, man. There was a couple days in my challenge where I just got depressed or upset, and sometimes the haters got to me in a way, because I do answer all my comments and I do, you know, talk to everyone that I can, because we're all human beings, and everyone in my comments. And just sometimes people, man, people can just be so mean on the internet. It's ridiculous. I'm out here documenting my weight loss journey. It's not like I'm out here clickbaiting and saying, oh yeah, look at me, I'm eating 10,000 calories because I'm fat, yeah. Or yeah, look at me, I'm doing a carnivore diet. Just clickbait stuff. Like, I'm not out here doing that, you know? I think my channel is very genuine in the direction that I'm going, and people just, I don't know, people just want to be mean for some reason. But
it's a shame, but it's the reality we live in. There's so many pricks out there. You have to try and learn to like move past it or try and just block it out. It's easier said than done, obviously, but it's a shame. But the one thing I will definitely say is no true fitness enthusiast or gym goer will ever have this sort of mindset towards you. The people that normally do this, one, are either they've got some deep insecurity or demons themselves. These are the type of people, if you ever, this is random, but if you've ever gone on any posts where people like sharing like some happy moment with their kid or something, you'll still see some negative people in the comments just going, oh, even on something as joyful as that, you'll see some idiot in the comments say something completely out of left field and negative. These are the individuals that leave comments like this. If you see someone with the energy he's giving, he's not one of those weird, insane fat activists.
Number 3, make elevators and hallways spacious to allow for easy movement of larger individuals
that are just like making excuses. This is someone that is taking the time to better themselves and trying to share their journey. He's not even trying to teach people. He's just trying to share his journey and potentially motivate someone else that's in a similar mindset or body space to do the same thing. And it's a shame that you got idiots out there that with something as dope as that and the energy he gives off, that they would still choose to write something negative like you're not going to make it. But once again, I do reiterate, this isn't regular fitness people that are doing this. These people usually don't even go to the gym themselves. Most real gym people, when they see someone overweight in the gym, they usually give them more respect than anybody else, because they know the struggle to get in there in the beginning journey is much harder than like maintaining when you've actually built a good physique. They'll normally kind of give you that look. Like there's a few people in my gym that was overweight and like slowly improving, that when I see them, they motivate me, to be honest, more than any of the other hench dudes in the gym. I'm like, if they can still bust their ass and come, like what excuse do most of us have? So yeah, it's unfortunate, but it's good that he's at least learning to try and block out some of the hate.
Yo, let's talk about our victories though, man. Our victories was this. Yo, I went to the doctors and we found out that my A1C dropped from a 10.6 to a 5.7 within a couple months. Yo, that was the biggest victory.
Salutes to him there. I'm not even going to pretend to kind of know when it comes to some of these medical issues and diabetes things that he's going to cover, so we're going to skip past it. However, improving your metrics is a plus. So like, salutes to him. For those of you that do know what all that meant, feel free to comment down below and enlighten your boy.
Another victory that we have had, it's not perfect, but we've been eating a lot more whole food. Guys, this is the first time that I have not eaten out nearly as much as I used to eat out. I'm not saying I've not eaten out, like we've eaten out like maybe once through the whole 30 days.
I'm such a big kid. But anyway, carry on with the video.
Bro, I've been so focused on just making meals at home and being healthy.
In general, yes, cooking at home is always going to be one of the triumphs you're going to have to learn. Like if you really are serious about either building muscle or losing weight, any sort of fitness kind of journey, you need to learn how to cook. Or you need to have enough money where you can purchase decent meal prepped foods, because that'll help you along the journey. But in reality, for most regular people, you have got to learn how to cook. And when I say you, I'm talking about you. Even if your wife or your mom is your main cooking person, typically, you need to learn how to cook, because unless you've already had this conversation with them and they're willing to cook your food slightly different, you need to learn to put your stuff to the side and actually season it to a point where you enjoy the taste of it. And it's also still high protein and still somewhat in the calories that you need to hit, and actually enjoy having it to the point where you have maybe 10 go-to recipes that you can kind of interchange, so you're not just bored, because you don't want to ever be that person that's just eating chicken, broccoli and rice every day, because that gets bland and it gets boring. You want to make sure that the foods you're eating are seasoned to the point that they're enjoyable, but also that you have enough that you can kind of mix and match. Because I'm almost saying most regular people over the course of a week probably only have like around 8 to 10 different meals anyway. So once you've improved all of those to slightly be high protein, and then you just log them in MyFitnessPal, save them as a meal, then you can kind of pick and choose them throughout the day, and it makes the journey so much easier. But yeah, it's yeah, cooking your foods and eating at home is always going to be one of the biggest vital steps that everybody needs to make.
Eating correctly, for me, that's the biggest part. It's not the working out. It's not the walking 10,000 steps. It's literally what I'm putting in my body, because changing those habits will ultimately not make me go back to my old habits of just eating out every single day. My biggest struggles were the snacking and eating out and eating fast food. And I know my eating isn't perfect, but we're eating at home. We are eating foods. We're cooking it at home. I'm telling you right now, man, just not eating out and just focusing on eating at home. It's literally been a just godsend, man. I literally crave these protein bowls that I've been making with the either low fat yogurt or the whole fat yogurt, and we put, you know, like goji berries and guana and all this other stuff. Bro, I crave those so much now. And I never used to eat stuff like that. I don't really crave the chicken and broccoli, but I'm trying to figure out how to make that better.
You don't have to eat chicken, broccoli and rice. Like, if you really hate that meal, you gotta spice that up, or switch out the broccoli for something more enjoyable, that veg you like, that's still a greenish veg. When I do have broccoli, it would be like the tender stem broccoli. I feel like it's a little bit more enjoyable to eat. But yeah, in terms of the chicken and rice part though, you can definitely season those to be enjoyable. Like, they don't have to be dead bland. You can add a little bit of spice, a little bit of seasoning to make sure it's flavorsome, because if you don't like it and he refers to it like that to most of his meals, for example, you're never going to stick to it long term, because eventually you're going to be like, I'm sick of this shit. So you definitely have to get to the point where at least the majority of your meals, like at least 8 out of 10, maybe even 9 out of 10 of those meals, you thoroughly enjoy. It's not going to taste as good as takeaway, obviously, but in terms of like homemade meals you have at home, it should definitely still be like, I look forward to this meal.
Overall, guys, that is probably one of the biggest wins so far, is eating out only like one time last month and just eating more at home. And overall, spending time with my wife and eating and making meals together and creating recipes. Like, that's so awesome.
That's dope. That is actually dope, because that also means that, I don't know if his wife's overweight or regular weight, but that is good that they've managed to kind of make this a thing together, because it makes you feel like you're not on your lonesome. This is why in other videos I've mentioned, if you're someone that's on a serious weight loss journey, but you're dating someone that is totally not against it, but like not on the same wavelength, or they're eating takeaway and stuff, it makes the journey so much harder, because you're seeing them like order, say on a Friday night, you see them ordering takeaway while you're having to like have something at home. Like, in my opinion, that wouldn't be support. Like, they should be doing that when you're not around, if they want to keep doing that. So I definitely feel like having someone that's feel like they're in it with you definitely makes the journey smoother.
The lessons that I learned from this challenge was just being patient and just being consistent. This was the first time we've had multiple failure days, but just because we've been so consistent the past 3-4 months, it literally didn't do anything. It literally was fine.
Very important thing not to overlook. He basically mentioned, even though I cropped some of it out, that he had a few work meals he had to go to, or birthday meals he also went to. He said he didn't eat terrible, but he definitely had like a slice of birthday cake and stuff like that. And he said it was good noticing that, because he's been so consistent over the course of like the whole week and month so far, when he had those odd little meals out, it didn't really like deter progress much. Like, he's still losing weight. And I feel like it's a mindset that many people need to have, because some people really feel like if they have 1 or 2 things, because of the things they add, the sodium spikes up, which makes them retain water. When they step on the scales the next day, it's jumped like 3 or 4 pounds. In their brain, they really think that's 3 or 4 pounds of pure fat, and they almost get into like a spiral of bad thoughts because they truly think they've killed their whole week or month. That's not the case. You're always gonna have a little bit of a spike typically. So you have to remember that consistency matters more. You know what I mean? Being consistent for months and years is much better than being perfect for one whole week, because in the long term, it's not really going to really improve you. All right, now so we're going to get into the good stuff of the actual progress he made over the course of 30 days.
The number one thing that I want to go through, we went from 359 to 349. We lost a total of 10 pounds. Now, the lowest that we did get to was 346, but I took a few rest days and I spent time with my wife and I gained a couple pounds back. Our waist was 66. Now our waist is 63. I still got the weight around my waist. That's probably one of the main areas I want to lose inches in. It's not coming off the way I wanted it to.
A lot of men, well, people period, to be honest, women and men, always want the weight to come from the stomach, but typically for most people, especially men, that is where you carry the most weight first. Sorry, the most weight, and it's gonna be one of the hardest places to lose from. For women, sometimes it's like your thighs, your glutes, and your arms. And then, yeah, your belly's chubby too. But for men, you'll often see like the men with the really overhang bellies, and sometimes have legs that aren't even that fat. It's simply because genetically, men often carry weight in their kind of midsection, which isn't great. You know what I mean? It's much better, like health-wise, to have all that fat not stored around the organs, but it is what it is. That's genetics. You can't really change it. But the gist is, basically, if you want to lose fat on your stomach, it's not impossible. It just means that you kind of have to keep the fat loss process going. And as it loses down the easy areas, it will eventually hit that stubborn part too.
A lot of people have been saying that my neck has been getting smaller. You could like visibly tell. Well, in July, my neck was 17.3. Now my neck is 15.7. That's crazy.
Damn near 2 inches off the neck. That's crazy.
I mean, like, guys, can you tell a difference from last month to this month? I'll have the, I'm gonna have it side by side. I mean, for me, I still can't tell a difference, but I can definitely tell a difference in my neck.
You can definitely tell a difference from the side profile more than the back. The back, it looks a little bit more droopy, but that's because the skin's starting to drop, if you know what I'm saying. So technically, he looks less full, but because the skin looks droopy, because the fat's leaving, which means the skin just starting to sag down, you can't really see a big difference. But from the side, you can definitely see his stomach does not stick out as much. So yeah, I can definitely see changes. It's one of those things that maybe he can't see because it's his own body, but like, let me know down below. I'm pretty sure you can see changes.
Through my whole body pictures, I can't see really a difference at all, to be honest with you.
There you go. As he said, he can't see the differences, but definitely, for sure, you could definitely see that stomach. He's still, yes, it sticks out, but you can definitely see that it was protruding less from the top. It kind of starts drooping down. I have a client that literally is similar. He carries a lot of his fat in his stomach and his back. His back started to get leaner now, and his stomach is slowly going. When we look at the progress photos, we can see that his belly is definitely much more like flatter looking rather than when it used to literally pop out. But yeah, this is one of the reasons why progress photos are great. Do them at least, maybe say every 2 weeks when you're cutting. If you're gaining muscle or gaining weight, I would probably do it once every 3.
D, what's next? What are we doing? Guys, I have no idea what we're doing next. All I know is my next goal is to get into the 340s.
Well, luckily we can now like have the gift of hindsight. We can see that he's done that. If you go on his page, he's currently just past that. He's into 338s. But if you go on his channel, you can see like 5 months ago is when he first started like putting the weights on screen, so you can easily see it. You can see the weight is slowly trickling down. You can almost, damn, he looks way different. Like if you look here, bro, yeah, his face looks way slimmer now. So shouts out to him. He's definitely improving. Outside that video I just showed you, his actual vlog videos are quite like entertaining, and they're like good cuts and stuff. Like it reminds me of old days of YouTube when people first started vlogging. Feel free to go over to his channel and show him some support. And also, if any of you out there need some help with your weight loss journey, feel free to hit me up by clicking the link down below, or you can check out these videos here because YouTube believes that you will love these videos.